Mike Martin and Heather Martin, also known as DaddyoFive and MommyoFive, are each facing 2 counts of neglect of a minor in the state of Maryland. This is according to the official website of the courts of Maryland. We don't have a lot of information on this, but it can be speculated that the reason why they're facing 2 counts of neglect of a minor is 1 count is for neglect of Cody and the other count is for neglect of Emma. Child neglect is the most frequent form of child abuse and in the state of Maryland is defined as an intentional failure to provide for the physical needs or mental health of a minor that creates a substantial risk of harm. It's a misdemeanor in Maryland, and while in most states, misdemeanors cannot be punished by more than 1 year in jail or prison, Maryland is an exception in which some misdemeanors can be punished by a maximum of 10 years. Child neglect can be punished by a maximum of 5 years, so each of these parents could be facing a maximum of 10 years, assuming that they get convicted and they get sentenced to consecutive terms of 5 years in prison. What's interesting is that the complaint was actually filed with the court on July 27th, 2017, but it seemed like nobody really noticed it until August 9th when Nick Monroe on Twitter posted these screenshots showing the complaint. That's a little odd when you consider how much mainstream media attention this case has gotten. Not only have a lot of big YouTubers talked about this case, but this case has also been talked about on Good Morning America, in People magazine and Time magazine, on the BBC, and elsewhere. When the biological mother of Emma and Cody, Rose Hall, won emergency custody of them back in May, it was all over the mainstream media. The Child Protection Services of Fredericks County also issued a statement that they were investigating Mike Martin and Heather Martin for possible child abuse. But now that they have actually been charged with child neglect, which is a form of child abuse, it hasn't been spoken about in the media. This is most likely because in the custody battle case, there was a gag order placed by the court. A gag order prevents parties involved in a case from talking to the public or the media. It doesn't apply to ordinary YouTubers or reporters, but it would apply to any attorneys involved, Mike Martin and Heather Martin, Rose Hall, the kids, and anyone else who might be a party to the case. Now, the criminal charges are not the same as the custody case. However, since the criminal case could affect the outcome of the custody case, the gag order would also apply to any criminal charges filed against Mike Martin and Heather Martin. So for that reason, we did not get a press release from Child Protection Services or the prosecutors in Maryland, nor have we heard anything from Mike Martin or Heather Martin themselves about this particular case. If you go to DaddyoFive's Twitter account, he doesn't say anything about the criminal charges filed against him. If you go to MommyoFive's Twitter account, she doesn't really say anything, but she did post this. It reads, "Please don't worry, Timo5. Mike, the boy, and I are all home and okay. One thing I have learned about this crazy internet world is people are always looking for a one-sided story to tell, especially when it is not the appropriate time for the other side to discuss it. When that time comes, we will share our story. Until then, thank you so much for the continued love and support. It really does mean the world to us. Remember to fight the hate with love, and stay awesome. New vlogs daily. Love and prayers always, MommyoFive." Since this is a very general and kind of vague statement that does not specifically mention the case, it probably does not violate the gag order, and I wouldn't be surprised if MommyoFive had it cleared with her lawyer before she made it. As you can see, she seems to be referring to the case, and when she talks about how it's not the appropriate time to talk about the case, That seems to be a reference to the fact that she cannot legally talk about it because of the gag order. One thing I want to point out is that Keemstar on Drama Alert erroneously stated that DaddyoFive and MommyoFive had been convicted of child neglect. This is not true. They have not been convicted, at least not yet. As of now, they are only being charged with 2 counts of child neglect. I also want to point out that the evidence that the government has probably goes beyond the videos that were posted on YouTube and most likely includes things like statements from Emma and Cody and perhaps other witnesses as well. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon for notifications, and together we shall take over the world. I upload at least 8 videos a month. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Zorkmid123.